following video clip contains strong language and has therefore been rated 18 plus by the YouTube NECCA. Viewer discretion is advised.
سبحان فالق الإصباح. الله أكبر.
Ding dong. Hello?
Yes, that's right, infidels. You found us here, channelattitude.com, Hameen Media Group, where you get the most real talk, the best reviews of all your favorite wrestling shows from AEW and WWE, Impact, and more, because we're going to break it all down with the best staff in professional wrestling at HMG. So you don't need to go anywhere else, because there's no 5 stars here. There's only $5 face slaps, infidel.
Allahu Akbar.
So sign up today, channelattitude.com, Hameen Media Group, and join the Hameen Army for the most real talk in professional wrestling. YOLO!
The PWC Network. What the world is watching and listening to.
Maybe I'm just paranoid. Oh, maybe I'm just living a lie. Can't stop this screaming voice. Oh, maybe I'm just sick inside. This is the face I hate, the other side of me. Out of this cage, he breaks to take the life from me. Tell me, tell me, tell me I'm not crazy. There's a psycho in my head. I'm closer to the edge, making me feel like I'm living in misery, misery, insane. These voices in my brain starting to feel like it's gonna be the death of me, death of me. There's a psycho in my head. Living in hysteria, nothing makes much sense tonight. Maybe I'm too scared to trust, to stop the chaos in my mind. Living in hysteria, nothing makes much sense tonight. Maybe I'm too scared to trust, to stop the chaos in my mind. This is the face I hate, the other side of me. Help me believe, I need to see the light in me. Tell me, tell me, tell me I'm not crazy. There's a psycho in my head, I'm closer to the edge, making me feel like I'm living in misery, misery, insane. These voices in my brain starting to feel like it's gonna be the death of me, death of me. There's a psycho in my, there's a psycho in my. Maybe I'm just paranoid, or maybe I'm just living a lie. Can't stop this screaming voice, or maybe I'm just sick inside. I'm not crazy, not a nightmare. 'Cause there's a psycho in my head, I'm closer to the edge, making me feel like I'm living in misery, misery, insane. These voices in my brain starting to feel like it's gonna be the death of me, death of
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the PWC Elimination Chamber post-game show. I'm your host, Jimmy T, and my co-host is back as per usual. He's an actual comparative myth. He is the evil dose himself. He is Dr. Jeff Lippman. Welcome to the post-game show, and what's going on, man?
I am incognito. Get it? If you know what a comparative myth is, you know what cognate is. I'm incognito. I'm confused. Aren't we talking about Battle in the Valley or Clash in the Valley or Sally in the Valley or Sneaking Sally through the alley?
I was going to say that. Sneaking Sally in the alley? Yeah. Oof. I'm even going to ask you what's going on there, Jeff.
Oh, oh my God. Who did the doctor, give me the news? I got a bad case.
Of loving you?
You're gonna have to admit it. You're addicted to love. It's Robert. No. He's dead. He was.
I know what you're talking about. I know the song too.
Yeah,
that's a classic. Jeff.
Through the alley. It's a great song. Anyway, it's
Elimination
basically
Chamber.
How he's hiding his sneaking his power more so that nobody sees him doing it.
Ah, I see. Or I don't. But anyway, we're talking Elimination Chamber, Jeff. I was going to say Chamber for some reason, but dude. I think this over-delivered as a premium live event, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it. I thoroughly enjoyed it from start to finish. Sure, there was questionable finishes and whatnot, but overall, I think the show was fun. The fans made the show. The wrestlers were, in the mood. Everything went perfectly in my book.
Yep, I really love the shows when they're only about 3.5 hours long.
That's true.
The crowd was hot. They were hot, except in some notable places. And Bronson Reed.
Come on.
But, I think you're more enthusiastic about the show than I am, but I thought it was a very good show. I thought it was a very good setup for WrestleMania show. I wouldn't put it up there as one of the great shows of the year. Of course, we're only in February. But I definitely put it as a very appropriate and well-crafted show to take us around the final stretch to WrestleMania. And while there were plenty of people complaining about this, that, and the other thing, most of it seemed to be emotional, which is good. Apathy is the enemy of wrestling. Any emotion, whether you're angry, whether you're thrilled, whether you're gloating, whatever it is, apathy is the enemy of wrestling. Emotion is what wins and what keeps the story and what keeps things going. And it achieved that.
Oh, it sure did achieve that. I mean, look, I'll be honest, all right? I'm not going to get too deep into the main event until we get there. But I just want to say this. By the end of that match, I felt like the fans and everyone... It was just one of those things where I felt like really Sami Zayn should have got the championship by the end of the night. And how bad of a friend is Kevin Owens, Jeff? Let's be honest.
Well,
he comes out at the end, not fucking in the middle of the match. Come on.
But do we remember when did Sami Zayn decide to intervene and help Kevin Owens? Not in the beginning, but after they handcuffed him and beat the fuck out of him for about 12 minutes.
But that's
only then did he
though.
just decide not to do the chair. So I would say it was actually perfect symmetry. Actually, all of it was symmetry, including that, Jay was still, we're still not sure where Jay stands. There's still questions. There's still cliffhangers. Is Kevin really on Sammy's side, or is he just anti-Roman? This is how a story continues. This is how a soap opera continues. You can't wrap everything up at once. It's not just about building up to a match. It's building up to the next match and the next match and the next.
I'm going to call it now, Jeff. WrestleMania Backlash 4-way dance for the Universal Championships.
Yeah, well, who are the four?
Well, Sammy, Roman, Cody, and say possibly Jey Uso. Possibly.
Dang. Interesting. All right, that's a bold.
It's a bold prediction though, but it's a very big bold prediction.
It may be boldest because I'm not sure the Backlash wasn't one of the shows that got canceled. They're not doing it anymore. I'm not sure, but I know that they stopped. They said we're not doing two shows, and I'm pretty sure the Backlash is one of them.
Well, if anyone in the chat can tell us if that's the case or not, that'll be nice.
Do we have a chat?
Yes, we do, as a matter of fact.
That's
and let's actually go to the chat because We've got Chris Whelan first saying, yes, boy, hell of a show. Aside from Lesnar and Lashley, are you guys hyped for WrestleMania? Owens and Sammy versus the Usos, night 1. I don't like it, though. I don't like it, Jeff. I'm not going to lie.
I do like it. I'm hyped for it. I'm just not sure it's night 1. I think everything with the bloodline exploding is probably going to be night 2 material. I hope it's night 1 because that's a Saturday.
True. That's a tough one, man. But I know it's too obvious, and we've been saying this is what's going to happen, but I don't like it, man. I just feel like after that climax, of Elimination Chamber, dude, I don't know. I just feel that's a little flat to go that route, but whatever, man.
That's the story. That's what the story's always been. It's about the reunification of Sammy and Kevin and the not so unification of the Usos and the Anoa'i. I mean that's the story. This is how it happens.
Anoa'i. Jeff.
Good. My pronunciation is corrected, but my point still stands.
Oh, beautiful. Anyway, we also got Homeboy saying, yo, and hello, Jimmy T and Mr. Jeff Lippman. Nice shirt, Jeff.
This is actually a 2D printing of my actual skull.
It is nice.
It was actually an X-ray. Came from the neurologist.
I
had it printed on my shirt.
Well, let's get into the first match, actually, Jeff, before we get into what we were just talking about a little later and deeper. We've got the Elimination Chamber, the Women's Elimination Chamber, as our very first matchup. It is Asuka versus Carmella versus Liv Morgan versus Natalya, Nikki Cross, Raquel Rodriguez for the WWE Raw Women's Championship #1 Contenders Elimination Chamber match. And at first, I'm not going to lie, I wasn't quite sure about the match, but then it actually got pretty full on, and I actually liked Carmella and Asuka's sort of interaction during this match.
I like the whole match. I mean, I liked how Carmella continues the, ew, you're gross, you're weird. I mean, it's a little close to the Chelsea Green character, but so what? Carmella was doing it first. And, they'd actually make an interesting tag team. But yeah, I loved it, and I loved when they were doing the joint super kicks on Raquel, which made sense.
Thank God. Loved it.
I love Corey's commentary during it, especially acknowledging that's his wife. And oh no, honey, come on, be safe, leave her alone. And then I thought Liv did her one Jeff Hardy Shotzi spot which I thought actually went really well. I don't know that we need Stone Cold Liv Morgan, but
please.
But listen, it's a way to protect her. She's submitted to Asuka twice now with the same move. No reason to think she wouldn't have, but Natty jumping in on that, fine, whatever. I didn't care. It was an interesting visual. I mean, I never really conceived that would happen, but why not? And it's every person for themselves, and your goal is just to eliminate someone else. So why not? Help kill somebody.
I'll go through the eliminations because it starts with Raquel Rodriguez eliminating Nikki Cross by pinfall with a lateral press,
right,
and then Asuka.
Garbage.
She made me laugh when she came into the ring, though, but that was it. You know what I mean? And then we had Asuka. Yeah, I know, that's true. Then we had Asuka and Natalya eliminate Liv Morgan by submission with a sharpshooter, and also Asuka's armbreaker she was doing at the same time.
Yeah, it's not the Asuka lock, but it's the new Asuka lock. The new
whatever it is, I like it.
It's the Kana clutch, the Psycho Clown clutch.
And also, Natalya was actually putting on the sharpshooter properly, man. And that would have been painful because I know I've been in the sharpshooter and it hurts your lower back, dude.
Yeah, I know. Dee showed me the video when she put you into it.
It wasn't Dee, but it was actually one of my best friends, a big Samoan dude, funny enough, got me in the sharpshooter back in high school. It hurt, man. I'm not going to lie. And he done it and he applied it properly too. It's pretty funny, but not really. But anyway, as I was saying...
It's funny because it happened to you.
It did. It actually did. But after that, we get Carmella eliminating Natalya by pinfall with a lateral press. And then Asuka and Carmella eliminate Raquel Rodriguez by pinfall and a double pin, which was great. Including the Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez things in this match. Brilliant. I love the way they got eliminated, man. And that's what the fans wanted in that particular building, especially, I think.
This match was fun. And Carmella's boobs look great. What
What was that? Shaggy?
Her cleavage is amazing.
Puppy power.
And
anyway,
everybody who said Carmella sucked, Carmella hasn't
Nah,
sucked
she
in
was
like
great,
3
dude.
years.
I agree, man. I fucking agree. You know what, man? Clap to that, because I've been saying the same thing. I actually think Carmella is so underappreciated right now. And you're right. In the last 3 years, she has been a different Mella. And Mella's money right now, man. I'm not going to lie. I agree.
She got my dollar.
Well, oh, you didn't just say that, did you? Did you
I
really
did.
just say?
Oh, I did.
You know what?
I laid my dollar down.
Well, she got my dollar also, as a matter of fact, Jeff.
I want my motherfucking money. Service is rendered. Fuck a check. Return it to sender. Give me mine and legal tender, Mr. Manager. The venue was filled to capacity. Check the door box. Count my percentage and get that to me.
Fuck me on the dough and we in all black with millies, ball caps and billies. It's all raps for really. Fuck me on the dough and we in all black with millies, ball caps and billies. It's all raps for really.
I'd buy that for $1.
You
Sorry,
need to get
Jeff.
one of those with the women from WWE.
I
and
know.
NXT. You can't always
Oh.
show the ones from AEW and Brandy.
I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking the same thing. I'm thinking, shit, that's so outdated, man. Like big time. Yeah, that we need to get onto that. We should change that. But still, it's funny because I want my motherfucking money, Jeff.
I
Really,
still
they
think
did.
whenever he starts sucking, when there's the camera pans down to Brandy's butt from the back and she's looking out over the boat. I keep thinking he's going to go, rock me Amadeus Ramirez. He's like, we all black with billies. We all.
Oh no.
gonna say,
All
"Rock me,
black
I'm a
Billies. Oh man. Anyway, Asuka wins the match by last eliminating Carmella via submission with a scissored arm bar to become your number one contender to the WWE Raw Women's Championship, and she is red hot right now, Jeff.
Yeah, but this was what everyone predicted. It's what everyone wanted. Asuka versus Bianca is absolutely the best one-on-one singles match.
Great matchup,
for
absolutely.
WrestleMania. I'm loving Killer Clown, Psycho, Killer Kana, Asuka, whatever it is. It's great. The blue dot on the nose, I can live with that, but the makeup I love, so it's all good.
Oh, that's brilliant. No, but it was a great match, and she's earned it. And you know what, man? We've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Asuka is truly one of the most over Japanese wrestlers of all time in the US and worldwide.
We've had this discussion. She might be
Arguably Muda, though. Muda, I think. tops
arguably
it off.
Muda, but I'm not sure if Muda's reality was the same as Legend. I mean, for one, he was in WCW.
You're right, and it was a WCW that wasn't that great at the time, if you know what I mean. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't.
It wasn't
the late
Monday Night
90s.
Wars.
Right,
WCW.
right. Absolutely, no, I agree. But still, it was WCW, and it was the number 2 promotion at the time. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, the only other ones in the conversation, as far as I'm concerned, are Fuji and Saito.
Absolutely, for sure. What about the Orient Express, Jeff?
No, I don't think so.
Hakushi?
No Jimmy Wang Yang, not Hakushi.
Oh, no, please.
Not, I mean, my favorite was Masahiro Chono, but no.
My hero Chono, as a matter of fact. That's what the NWO used to call him. My hero Chono.
That's good.
And remember NWO sold out back in the day, the actual pay-per-view?
Yeah, I do.
That's where I first heard it.
Cool.
Cool
But
indeed.
So yeah,
Well,
yep, good ending, good match.
Maybe we shouldn't be making fun of this. There has been earthquakes around the world, and there's definitely an earthquake right here because it's your boy Bobby Lashley, Jeff.
That's right. Nobody in Anatolia has been injured in this simulation.
Yes, that's true. Absolutely. Only Jeff. Jeff is just over the moon.
Sure am. A win is a win.
A win's a win, absolutely, man. And yeah, I thought deep down my gut feeling, and I was saying this last week, it just smelled of shenanigans, Jeff. It just, these two, they play that don't work for me, brother card a lot. And I could just see it's always a tug of war between these two in terms of politics, shall I say.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we all smelt shenanigans, and we all know that unless it's like a special match where you can play with lots of toys, Brock doesn't like to be there more than 7 or 8 minutes. So these were just not the shenanigans I expected. I had 2 versions of shenanigans in mind, either of which and which were not mutually exclusive. One would be the Hurt Business reemerges and assists. The other, which also could be, is that especially in the aftermath of Bray Wyatt's announcement on SmackDown, was I thought there might be some Wyatt intervention, probably through Uncle Howdy because Bray's got those broken fingers, or just lights going out, maybe even evil Alexa, with casting some witchcraft, whatever. But there was nothing. It was just a standard mule kick to the nuts, disqualification, beatdown. I mean, and then Lesnar breaks a bunch of stuff and wanders away. I mean, so I enjoyed the match while it happened. I liked that Bobby got the win, but I expected shenanigans. No one expected a clean finish. This was it. So it begs a question. After Bray said what he said, is this going to get resolved at WrestleMania, Lesnar versus Lashley? Or is it a 3-way with Bray? Or, I think that we're going to get Lesnar and Lashley on a Raw between now and then.
What, in a match?
Yeah, because they why else would Bray say whichever one of you comes out, it's run? I mean, they're not going to get a clean match. Whatever it is, it involve Bray and the Wyatt Six or the Funhouse or whatever it is. He's put himself into the story. He's not just going to... This is not like Little Bow Wow. He's not going to peace out. So, that's going to be a WrestleMania match. Who he's facing, I mean, Bobby won, but Brock came out looking like the winner. I think he's going to tormenting both of them.
First of all, that's stupid if they go that route. It's only going to destroy Bray Wyatt. I'm telling you, dude.
Well, Bray Wyatt's going to win, and Brock will end up taking the loss because Brock doesn't care.
No, I don't agree with that, man. I think he does fucking care, and he's all about his image. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had this fuckery of a finish in the first place.
Please, he's anybody who has his respect, he'll lose to. He's not going to lose to Mansoor. He's not going to lose to Action Andretti, but he will lose to Bray Wyatt, who the Undertaker gave his blessing. He lost to Goldberg. He doesn't care, he doesn't care because he knows he's acting like a complete heel and the crowd's still cheering him. He knows he doesn't care. He cashes the paycheck. He has fun. He can do whatever he wants. The crowd reacts exactly how he wants every single time.
Well, Chris Whelan actually brings up an interesting question. He says, man, guys, might we get a Lashley / Lesnar, I said it the other way around, team up against Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy at WrestleMania? Nah. No way. I
mean, you can't rule it out as a might, but I don't think so. I don't, you do one things. All right, we've been fighting, and I respect you, but no, you just kicked me in the nuts. So no, I don't see that one happening. But
and who would they go up against?
Well, Bray will be involved, and I'm just telling you that announcement on SmackDown, a go-home show with over 2.3 million people watching, is not something that's going to just be dropped.
True, but we heard nothing of it on the actual premium live event, Jeff. That's what's weird.
Well, that's what television is for. Don't forget that Bobby and Brock are both more or less on Raw, though Brock goes wherever he wants. Bray is on SmackDown.
Pretty frequent. Yeah, that's true.
So, this is, we can find out more about this story Monday, tomorrow. Or we can find out more about it Friday, where we already know that there's a Firefly Funhouse.
That's true.
I'm guessing it'll be Friday, but it's not dropped. It's happening. In what form, I don't know. Is it a 3-way? Is it a tag team? Is it? I don't think it's that tag team. So my answer is no. I don't think so.
Anyway, at the end of the match, Brock F5's Chad Patton, the referee. He picks up Lashley up again, and then he hits another F5 to the floor, and then an F5 through the announce desk, and then Lesnar pulls Chad Patton out of the ring and F5s him into the wreckage of the announce table, and that was that. Still a fun match, though. I actually still enjoyed it.
So Brock is going to be fined, $250,000 and suspended for 30 days.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I was saying during the match. I'm like, suspension. So they write him out of fucking TV for now.
Or how much was Ronda allegedly fined? Was it $1 million?
Yeah, how dumb was that shit?
So Brock will be fined $1 million and suspended for 30 days.
Ridiculous.
Maybe he'll break the suspension. Maybe this is just all part of why he won't be involved in arguing back. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get that announcement tomorrow.
This sounds interesting, actually, Jeff, because Chris Williams says in the chat, Lashley and Lesnar versus the Banger Brothers would be great, though. Eventually, the tag belts got to split and teams be made up on the fly. The WWE way, man.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds interesting, but I mean, it doesn't sound any more likely to me near term than the other scenario does for the same reason.
It looks good on paper, though.
Sure, but
I can see it
just
turning
like the
into
other one on paper.
Right. No, you're right. Yeah, but this one really looks more intriguing and more realistic, in my opinion, Jeff.
Okay, I mean, you're diminishing the
Bray
anthropomorphized
Wyatt.
demonic puppets, and yes, Bray Wyatt and monsters and magic and voodoo and things
But why
like that.
is Bray... See, I still don't understand. Why would Bray be going after these two guys? Like, I don't get it.
Because he's climbing the mountain. He's got a lot to prove to himself, brother. He's not the man he wants to be, but if he's going to be the man he wants to be and prove it to all you people in WWE Universe, he's got to beat the best, and they are the best.
The best of the breast, Jeff.
Oh, Carmelo, what?
Oh, man. That were hooters. Speaking of... Did you check out Seth Rollins' Joker sort of parody with the man, who was Batman, it seemed, in Becky Lynch?
The man, this was cringe.
The man cave, dude.
I mean, Seth did his performance well, but remember last week you asked me what's his character supposed to be? He's a clown. Well, there you go. He's an insane clown. There he is. They've got three insane clowns. Asuka, who's cool, Bray, who you don't like, I do, and Seth Rollins.
I do like Bray Wyatt. Who said I don't like Bray Wyatt?
Every time I mention him in your face goes,
what? No, I just don't agree with what you just said about... I don't know, man. It just doesn't make sense, him calling him out on SmackDown. It's just weird.
But he did. I mean, if that didn't happen, I said, I think that Bray Wyatt's going to get involved. Of course, that wouldn't make any sense. But he said it on SmackDown.
But then why didn't he... That's what I don't understand. Why didn't he get involved in this match when he should have?
Because he's got broken fingers, and they're keeping him out of the ring for a while. Now, why couldn't they put a vignette? Why couldn't they make it black and the lights go out and something on the Tron, and Howdy and those giant puppets appear and spooky laughter and whatever? Maybe they felt that there had been enough of it. I don't know. Maybe they like the ending. I don't know. I didn't like the end. I would have liked 100 different things to happen, but let's move on to the next match because yes, this was unsatisfactory.
I still say that this song playing in the background should be absolutely Bray Wyatt's theme right now.
I know you're prolonging it just so you can play this dopey song.
I love the song, dude. It's absolutely brilliant compared to his current theme. I'm just saying.
I like the theme. It's just everything takes too long.
Yeah, well, that's true too. But anyway, let's move on, as you said. And next, oh God, did I mention that we get a Cody Rhodes comeback video package again?
Yeah, I skipped that. I totally went to the bathroom during that.
I had to say it, dude. I
think I microwaved my macaroni and cheese at this time.
Nice. And we also see Ariel Helwani and Georges St. Pierre in the crowd, and the crowd goes nuts.
Yeah, I don't know who George St. Pierre is.
Really? Dude, possibly the best MMA fighter of all time.
Yeah, don't care.
Wow. Georges St. Pierre, you don't know? Wow. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're not here to talk MMA.
Is it George or Georgia?
Georges.
That's not even
St. Pierre. That's his name, dude. Georges St. Pierre.
I don't believe
Somebody in the chat tell him that that's his actual name.
I don't like it.
He's French Canadian.
I like it.
Soufflé, soufflé.
I don't know. He's no Iceman Chuck Liddell.
They dropped the ball by the commentators, not like screaming instead of suplex. Suplex.
Well, they did drop the ball because they kept saying, "There's Ariel Helwani, an unbiased and professional journalist."
Oh yeah, that was a dig at good old TK himself after he called out Ariel Helwani on Twitter like a fool, calling him a fraud. What a fucking idiot!
Clown.
And did he just find that out now? He's been working for WWE for over a year now, Ariel Helwani.
I know, and everyone's saying he's mad because he was on SmackDown. How can he wasn't mad because he was on SmackDown. He tweeted the first thing way before. I'm sorry, not SmackDown.
Elimination.
He
Simbed.
He tweeted that out well before that happened, and then but Ariel Helwani then called him the Snowman.
Yeah, that was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. He destroyed him, dude. Ariel Helwani destroyed TK in the most simplest and most like apologetic way in many ways, if that makes sense.
The funniest thing is the AEW apologists are saying, "Yeah, Ariel comes out of this looking worse." No,
hell no, he doesn't.
He is completely unscathed by this, and this is just another exhibit of Tony Khan's non-professional, childlike behavior. No one outside of the wrestling world is going to know what Ariel Helwani tweeted about this. They're not going to know what it is, and then if they look, they go, "That guy's a clown." Meaning Tony Khan. So he's completely unscathed. Tony Khan looks like a petulant child because he is a petulant child, and
very cool,
very much possibly a snowman.
And let's be honest, Jeff. How hot is WWE compared to AEW right now? It is like hot and cold right now, man. It's unbelievable. Let's be honest.
Dynamite. What did Dynamite do? 820 something last week. That's worse than I thought.
Right, big, huge numbers.
Yeah, not even the Big Bang Theory lead-in gave them over $1 million. Oh, and the women in the main event. Oh my! I can't wait for the quarters to come out.
What a bunch of matches that meant nothing, Jeff. Really, like that was just random. It was like they pulled them out of a fucking hat.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Listen, I didn't think that was nearly a terrible Dynamite show. As far as Dynamite is concerned, on my Dynamite scale, I would call that above average. I mean, it was nowhere near a 10 on my Dynamite. Anyway, if you want to hear more of my thoughts and Chris's thoughts, listen to the skirmish. But
also, I want to say one thing before we move on, though, about AEW.
But the thing is that all of the AEW fans saying it was a terrible show after they saw the ratings. No, it wasn't. You're all jumping ship. You're abandoning ship. These are like rats. Titanic.
Big time. Also, do you think have you heard the rumors about Kenny Omega possibly jumping to WWE? And they're kind of getting pretty hot right now. I mean, his contract is coming up. That's a fact.
It is, but unless time was extended due to his injury, and then it's
I can see that. Unless he really wants to go, though.
But I don't know about that because we've already learned that Cody has no control. None of them were ever owners. I mean, weren't we led to believe that the Elite had ownership equity stake in AEW?
Apparently. They are technically they are the founders because they come up with this, and then they had to get a money mark, and that's TK.
Well, technically they're not. Technically, they're just the first employees because that's way different than the founders. And
what's their concept though, per se?
Doesn't matter. Not founding.
Oh no, that's true. No, for sure, I agree. I'm sure they do have power though, man. Come on, let's be honest, man.
Yeah,
you can tell by the way they get booked. Well, in terms of booking power, I think they do. Come on.
Somewhat. I mean, Jericho seems to have more booking power than anyone else.
He's smart, though. He's smart. He really sucks TK's little PP. Literally, man. But in a good way.
The Bucks are also teasing it. I mean, the fact that 3 out of the 4 remaining, we'll call them founders, are even teasing this shows you how weak the fissures are and how weak the foundation is of that business model and that business structure. But the quote I heard from Omega, which has been blown way out of proportion, was that WWE feels that it's a real possibility that they could get Omega. Okay, that's WWE sources thinking they could. Well, guess what? If you're the New York Yankees, you think there's a possibility you can get everyone also. It's not like Kenny Omega said, yeah, I'm really thinking about it, or that Don Callis is saying, Kenny's weighing all his options. I mean, this is all one statement, which was self-serving, that the people are blowing into exactly what they want it to be. Is it interesting? Of course it's interesting. Do I want Kenny Omega in WWE? No. Would I want it because of the evil dose aspect, that it would be such a PR coup against AEW and how the foundation really is total bullshit and it's been bullshit from day one? It's not a revolution. It's just another wrestling promotion.
A revolution.
I like it for. I would like it for that purpose. Would it be good for Kenny to be paid and not have to work like a maniac?
I can see that. I can see him having a lot of schedule possibly in WWE.
Everyone does. And he wouldn't have to work like a crazy person doing dives and having 170-pound people breaking his falls. 300-pound people would be breaking his falls, and there'd be two of them and another 250-pound person behind them. So I mean, he could do his moveset, just less of them, less fast, and safer. And he could make enough money to retire. I mean, so
for sure.
If that's the case, look, I wouldn't mind seeing him in WWE. It's just not something I hope for or dream about. But again, all of the badness in me, all of the evilness in me, because it would be such a blow to the AEW ego and super ego.
Ooh,
I mean that's a
dude.
That's a beautiful thing for me, because I just want the fans to shut up. I just want them to stop pretending it's like some utopian society.
Utopian society.
If all of a sudden all of them on Twitter said, yeah, it's not always that great, and you know what? It is just another wrestling promotion. then all of a sudden I'd switch sides. I would turn face on them.
The doctor has spoken, folks. Right there. Bang.
I'm a simple man. I want what I want.
I'm a simple man. Anyway.
Not Bray. That's why I understand him, brother.
Brother.
Is my Bray Wyatt impersonation even close to okay?
No, you sound like you're from overseas, dude. Why are you saying like brother?
What country? All of my accents are vaguely Macedonian.
We're talking about blockhead Macedonian, Slava fucking Macedonian.
Fucked if I know the difference.
Oh, there is a difference.
Well, is there a different accent?
Yeah, because Slav accent compared to a Greek accent.
You know what? I'm going to go with the Balkan version. Mine is definitely a Balkanized accent.
It's Balkanized, 100% Balkanized. And when I say Balkanized, I'm not talking about Greek Balkan. I'm talking about North Balkan. Yeah.
A combination of many things that don't necessarily go well together.
It's like I break your sort of Russian, but not in the you know what I mean. It's kind of a different, but right. You get my drift.
Like a soup that definitely doesn't taste that good.
Anyway, did I mention the next matchup? I don't think I have, because we go with Beth Phoenix and Edge versus Judgment Day and Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. I surprisingly enjoyed this match.
Yeah, this match was exactly what it was supposed to be.
No, absolutely. And I mean, Dom was copping heat, man. He was getting big time heat with the fuck you Dominic chants, which, I mean, come on. Montreal was absolutely banging. They just kept giving him shit throughout the whole night. But you know what, man? I'm going to keep saying this, and I'll say it again. Dom impresses me more and more every time I see him, man. And he eats up the heat, and I like it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna show this as proof positive that WWE has marked cards too, because there were so many people predicting that Finn and Ripley would win this just because Ripley won the Royal Rumble.
The females did make this match. They carried this match though, Jeff.
Yeah, but Rhea Ripley's going to WrestleMania in the main event regardless. They also think that Finn Balor needs another run at the top. No, Finn Balor's enhancement time. No. And Finn Balor was there to eat the pin.
Absolutely there to eat the pin. It wasn't going to be Rhea. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? But you know what? The women absolutely impressed me. I mean, Beth and Rhea absolutely gelled very well in the match. I mean, everyone had good chemistry, but the women really were the stars of this match, in my opinion.
Beth was a little slow. I mean, it wasn't as well. You know, there were some awkward moments.
She hesitated. Actually, there was a point. Do you remember that one? I can't remember. She had Rhea Ripley against the ropes, and then she went and whipped herself against the ropes on the other side. And as she was coming back, and she stopped. I'm thinking,
it's like she was going to do a spear or a clothesline over the top rope. Then she remembered that wasn't the stop, and then she stopped short, and then Rhea Ripley just forearmed her across the face.
What the fuck was that? I was like, why did you hesitate?
She botched the spot. She forgot the spot, but okay.
Even Edge, when he was contemplating if he should do a suicide dive. Yeah, I called it a suicide dive, not a tope suicida. Whoa. But where he slowed down as well, where he's like, he was second guessing himself. He's like, am I too old to be doing this shit? And then he said, fuck it, I'll do it anyway. And
you know what?
And he did it.
It's a suicide dive. He goes with #ShutUpExcalibur.
Yeah. Excalibur, seriously. God damn it. Anyway, Beth Phoenix and Edge do win by pinfall with Shatter Machine on Finn Balor. But like I said, fun match all the way around. It was all, but you know what? I felt production was struggling to keep up with the match, though, Jeff. If you noticed.
I didn't notice that, but that doesn't mean you're wrong. I just didn't notice it. You're the tech guy, so you would notice stuff like that well before I would. I would probably see it 3 times to notice that, but I'm not going to watch it 3 times. I watched it once and I'm done.
Well, they just because there was
like when I had sex with your mom once and I'm done.
Hey, hold your horses there, Jeff.
I was talking to D.
She's all right. She's sleeping. Anyway, look, production at one point when Dom was coming out or running away when the crowd was like, nah, hey, which made me laugh. It was like an obsession for the rest of the night. Literally, like they just kept doing it every time someone got eliminated in the chambers. But, just production was everywhere. Couldn't keep up. There was a point where Edge was, I assume, trying to do a spear or a clothesline. And for whatever reason, the camera panned away to Dominic. It was just, it was kind of messy. But anyway.
This crowd was very much like Shaka Khan. They had the music in them.
Absolutely.
Because they wanted to sing to Dom, they wanted to sing Sammy, they wanted to sing Seth. I'm surprised they didn't break out and do Judas. They were singing Edge's song.
No, stop it. That was amazing. I was shocked. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, I've never heard anyone sing Edge's song for the 20 years that he's had that theme song for.
Yeah, aside from You Think You Know Me, I never even occurred to me that somebody might know the words to that song. God damn it, man. I mean, that was pretty amazing. I think it even tripped out Edge in many ways. Like, what the hell? You guys are singing my song. It was totally amazing because they kept on the guy and he had British teeth. He had like fangs and shit. Like his teeth weren't connecting. And so they kept the camera on him because it was so amazing that they didn't want to avoid his bad dental work. Dude, there was some heads in that crowd. I'm not going to lie. If you noticed, it was 50 plus, man, most of that crowd and mainly males, dude. I gotta tell you that there were at least 3 people who could have been Eddie Kingston's brothers right there in the front row. By the way, did you hear Eddie Kingston? He gave this whole speech after when he beat Jay White. He beat Jay White in the Loser Leaves New Japan thing. Ooh. At the Valley in the Galley, whatever event that was. The Jelly in My Belly show. I can't believe I said that about a New Japan show. Is that people have been calling him up because people are like, yeah, I'm from the Bronx. He made up an address. That address doesn't exist. He's full of shit. Which is exactly. Eddie Kingston is a paper gangster. Absolute paper gangster. And apparently, Honey with the Money is a new champione, apparently, over there. Right. In the Shelly in the Melly event. Tony Khan isn't the only one that's guilty of bringing in outsiders and making them a champion right away, and I guess neither is Eric Bischoff. I mean, or Jeff Smelly Monelli event, I think, or Vince McMahon, who basically didn't start it, but the most famous one is Hulk Hogan's first match was beating the Iron Sheik for the title. Poor Bob Backlund's still mad about that. I don't blame him. But I think everything worked out better for everybody else because of it. Yeah, Mercedes Moné is the IWPG champion. IWPG. What's it called? IWGP, but I laughed. That's a good one. IWPG. Nobody cares. It's New Japan Pro Wrestling. The IWGP doesn't factor into any of it. There's no NJPW and IWPG. So what was the event called again? Smelly Manelli or what was it? Milli Vanilli. Oh, Milli in the Villi. Okay, anyway, no. Look. I don't even know why I'm giving shit to the name, but it was a stupid name. I'm just being honest. And why do it on the same day as Elimination Chamber, man? I hear it was a good show. I hear they had technical problems that people were not able to see the entirety of the match. And I hear that while all the tickets were sold, the seats were not all filled. That there were a lot of empty seats there. Interesting. Well, I haven't watched the full event yet. I will eventually. But we did have a famous guy named Phil, I believe, in the crowd. Right, he was sitting in the media section, which was apparently filled with wrestlers. Impact stars, and because I guess no media went to show up, and Bailey was there too. Bailey was supporting her TV wife. Oh wow, yeah, her TV wife.
Where was
And I think Trinity was there too. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Where's Trinity Fatu?
I don't know.
I assume she might have been there too. But anyway, we're not here to talk
They are
about
booked for a
Kelly
Comic-Con
and the
together.
Melly.
They're
Sorry?
booked for a Comic-Con like March 5th in the Emerald City, which I think is Seattle.
I'm not sure. You
I
know
should
more
know
than
this,
I
but
do
I'm not
about
sure.
that, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's not the one in Oz. So all right. So yeah. So next match was the men's elimination chamber, right?
well, yes, but before we go to that, we see Roman Reigns backstage drinking C4s, but curiously, not the Skittles flavor, Jeff. Why is that?
I don't know, but that was. I don't know, Jimmy.
Which apparently is the best flavor of C4, apparently.
I don't know what C4 is except for an explosive.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Anyway, whatever. I didn't mind this. This was kind of like humorous to me, but whatever. It was just nothing. But yes, we do have the men's elimination chamber match, and it is for the WWE United States Championship Elimination Chamber match. It is Austin Theory, your champion, versus Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Johnny fucking get off my TV screen Gargano, Montez coming to America Ford. Was he Eddie Murphy? What was going on there, dude?
I don't know what he was wearing, but he wasn't wearing his usual Street Profits thing, which really lent credence to my little hopeful theory. But yeah, I don't know what he was sort of like dressed like a modern
Murphy.
version of Michael Jackson or something.
No,
Yeah.
even Eddie Murphy from Coming to America, dude.
And why was he wearing a Burger King crown?
Why was Priest wearing a Burger King crown?
No, he was wearing his was
no.
equally
He
dopey,
was
but
cool.
his was a crown of thorns.
No, it was actually, yeah, it was, but it looked a lot better on Priest. Let's be
But
honest.
Montez hit even his solo cut was like it's like you know,
Too many cups, dude.
it's like Eddie Hart or not a Teddy. It's like Teddy Hart bedazzled Montez Ford.
Oof. Well, anyway, we'll get back to Montez in a moment, but we also have Seth Rollins in the match also for the WWE United States Championship Elimination Chamber match. This was fun, dude, but I mean, we didn't get any eliminations for a long time up until Montez Ford eliminates Bronson Reed via pinfall, via frog splash.
I cannot tell you how many people were picking Bronson Reed to win, and I'm like, why? They're like, this is how you build a new star. I'm like, okay, you don't build somebody from nowhere onto the road to WrestleMania. No, I'm like, he comes out, nobody reacts. Listen, Bronson Reed had a good showing, and he got some reactions in the end. And I mean, it's not just that he got like 3 super kicks, and then like he got he got like 3 different finishers, including a curb stomp and a frog splash.
That's true. They made him look strong, dude.
Yeah, so they all teamed up on him, sort of like Asuka and Carmella were doing on Raquel,
right?
And he was eliminated, and he got a strong outing. He certainly didn't look bad coming out of this. He looked good.
No.
When he left, nobody booed. Nobody, he got a smattering of applause. I guess that's progress.
I guess. I mean, look. Put it this way, he doesn't look weak at all, even though he was the first to be eliminated. Heck, it felt like it took 30 minutes till there was an elimination.
Do you know what Corey Graves called him, though? A wrecking ball.
That's right, he did. I remember.
Fucking
he called him the Aussie wrecking ball, as a matter of fact.
Freaking copycat.
Interesting. We'll see where that goes, though. I mean, if we do get more teasing between himself and Ortiz.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Oh boy! So what would that make Bronson? Would he be Bronson Reed?
This is way down. First they're going to fight, then they're going to become best friends.
Or should it be Bronsonnier? You like that one, huh? Bronsonnier Reed.
Brosoon.
Brosoon, yeah. Either way, they can go many ways. Absolutely.
Listen, whatever it is, Maxine will make it work.
Let's hope. Well, she can definitely make it work. That's for sure. But anyway, also I wanted to point out that A-Town Down himself in Austin Theory impressively actually picked up fucking what's his name?
Bronson Reed. Yeah.
Bronson Reed. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was literally a deadlift squat. And
deadlift. He used his legs all the way with that lift, dude.
Yeah, no, that was legit. There was no help with that one.
That was impressive.
There was also a really good sequence, and this was where both Seth Rollins and Johnny Gargano were sitting atop of the Elimination Chamber, and like Seth's like, what's going on? Maybe we
And
should
he
just sit here and
gives him
catch
one
some
hell of
rest.
a chop.
And Johnny Gargano's like, yeah, you're right. We should do it. And like Seth chops him and starts beating the
that was
crap out of
brilliant.
him.
Absolutely.
That was good. But
That was brilliant,
I
man.
think the spot of the night, we all have to agree, was Montez
Montez?
Ford doing the Spider-Man.
That was pretty amazing, dude.
That was
he
fucking
kinda-
amazing. That was great.
no one's ever done that. Not even Kofi himself has done that. I mean, he literally, I don't know if he's double jointed, but it felt like he turned all the way, like his arms are kind of bent back, if you know what I mean. And then he let go, man. That's nuts. I mean, Montez, let's be honest. Look, we did say that more than likely Austin Theory will win this match.
Right.
But we also said if anyone's going to win it because of Black History Month, it would be Montez. And for a moment, it seemed like he could have won it.
Yeah.
But in the end...
I think anyone who's listened to me, for a long period of time knows that I will often say, yeah, this one's probably going to win. But if I make a prediction, I try to go for one haymaker that I'm going to try to fantasy book if I see that it's plausible. So I got this one wrong because I did pick Montez, but I did say, yeah, Austin Theory is the heavily favorite to win and probably will win it. But I'm going to try to wish cast this. But it was cool. And actually, Montez Ford later on sold the heck out of an injury, which played
my
into
God, dude, yes.
And
It looked legit for a minute because the wrestlers were wrestling in the ring and whatnot, and then they just stopped.
Right. They all did it. The only thing I wish is that the camera didn't catch Montez sort of going
Slipping?
thumbs up like that.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And there was no
Really?
X. But then when he walked out the steps and he sort of slipped and fell.
Yeah,
onto
that
his
looked
butt,
legit too, dude.
like his face, even his eyes, they looked like he was dazed and confused. That was well done.
Or that was
And-
Shawn Michaels teaching him how to oversell. Like,
Well, what? But he sold perfectly, and
No, he did.
this is not me being a hypocrite because he didn't have a real concussion that they're playing with that injury and storyline like they do with Adam Page right now, and they've done with Daniel Bryan and Saraya and Moxley that they seem to love to do on AEW all the time, which I find to be tasteless. because it's a brain
speaking of
injury.
Moxley, did you see the memes going around where if Moxley was to be in a first blood match, he would always lose?
Oh yeah, he lose on his way to the ring.
Yeah, fucking idiot. Seriously, Mox, come on, man. God damn it. But yeah, no,
I mean, the man's going to have a forehead like Abdullah the Butcher by the time he's 40.
and that's from one of his pals to him. Just saying. But I'll just go quickly through the match because Damian Priest eliminates Johnny Gargano with a pinfall via the Razor's Edge, and then Montez Ford and Seth Rollins eliminate Damian Priest by pinfall with a powerbomb blockbuster combination, and then Theory eliminates Montez Ford by pinfall via lateral press, and then Austin Theory ends up winning, last eliminating Mr. himself.
Yeah, but
by
Austin Theory
pinfall.
eliminated him after Seth Rollins gave him a curb stomp.
Right, and I also was going to say, we had a cowboy. I thought it was Adam Page making his entrance, but it was Logan Paul because he did Hangman Page's finisher. In case you're wondering, if you didn't notice that.
Yeah, when they were trying to get Montez Ford out of the ring, there were two medics and there were like three referees other than the prime referee. The cage door was open. And so while we're thinking, is that real? Could it really be an injury? Wow, they got a lot of people there. Logan Paul snuck in through the open cage and did his springboard lariat onto Seth Rollins, took him out, which allowed Austin Theory to get the win. And, you know, that's good. I mean, I think most people saw that as coming, but not this particular sequence, which was really well choreographed and really well acted by everyone involved.
Absolutely agree with you 100%, Jeff, for sure. No doubt about it. It was a fun match. I will say that Seth Rollins, though, even though I love him, he shouldn't wear those pants ever again, especially the white. It emphasized how kind of tubby he's becoming, dude. Have you noticed that? I mean, seriously.
I've been noticing it for a long time. I mean, I'm the captain of the Seth Rollins Ruins Everything Club. So.
Jeez, I've overdone that laugh tonight. Anyway, just don't wear white again, please, Seth. I mean, fuck. Well, we move on to the main event. It is the match I think everyone was waiting for, including us, and especially the Montreal crowd at the Bell Center. It is Roman Reigns, your undisputed Universal WWE Champion, versus Sami Insane in the membrane. Did you hear about that? They were doing the insane in the membrane chants on SmackDown?
I did not.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. In Sami Zayn for your WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. Dude, this match went an hour, including intros. I don't know if you realize that.
I realized it was close to that because I was looking at my clock. But I mean, they after the intros, which take a full 10 minutes, they didn't even like have physical contact for like 5 minutes. I mean, because the crowd was crazy.
Maybe more. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I love the fact that Sami Zayn's got his original theme back. I don't know why they took that away from him in the first place.
He got a heel theme. Now he has his face theme back. It's not mad.
No, I get it. But usually it's a kind of remix of the face song. Like, for example, I don't know if you noticed Lashley's theme was kind of remixed now that he's becoming a heel.
I haven't noticed. It seems mostly the same to me. But anyway,
it's got more.
I know when they did with Nakamura when he was a heel, it was sort of like they added a rap beat to his instrument.
I hated that though.
I know you did. You hate everything. But I love.
Oh, fuck. Please, love not war, right, Jeff?
What's the difference? There you go.
Anyway, this match had it all, and I guess WWE has some government officials paid off because we do get the Usos on a 24-hour visa, dude. They had to come in and get the fuck out on strict supervision to get into Canada, eh? I guess everybody does have a price, including Canada.
All right, well, listen, that's okay. They've been good. They've earned it. They're being supervised. It's only for a short time. No one's gotten in trouble in a long time, and these things are possible. And I'm sure that the probation officer or officers signed off on it, and that's probably was enough for the Canadian thing. I'm not even sure if it had to do with Canada. I'm sure Canada would issue the visa. Probably had more to do with the probation officer on stateside signing off on it. But I don't know the details.
No, that'll be more Canada, not the States, man. No way, because they're entering Canada. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but I'm not sure the entry is a problem. I think that listen, I don't know, but oftentimes when you are wealthy and you're on parole or probation, one term is that you have to surrender your passport and you can't leave the country. Sometimes you can't even leave the state, and so sometimes you have to get their permission. The other country for a visa probably doesn't care. I mean, there might be some certification from WWE's. We're going to fly them in. We're going to fly them out. That's it. It's all done. But beyond that, listen, it might have been Canada. What I'm saying is I don't know. But don't be surprised if it was actually they needed the cooperation. If not, it was 75% on state side versus Canada side. But it could be the other. It could be the opposite.
Money Inc., baby. Just saying.
Listen, this is trade. We are exporting entertainment. This is big for Montreal.
Absolutely. Even if you're a criminal, who cares?
I don't want to minimize the thing, but
I'm being a Karen right now, dude. I'm being a woke fucking idiot.
Yeah, I mean it's not like he's a danger to other people if he's not.
I'm taking the piss, literally, Jeff. Right. If you know what that means in Australian.
I mean, but for the grace of God, we've all committed DWI.
Not me.
Liar.
I swear to you, dude. I have never been. First of all, I'm not even a drinker, so.
Well, it doesn't need to be alcohol to be intoxicated. To be under the influence.
Well, that's no secret, Jeff.
I know, but have you driven?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know what? I've been lucky. No. I don't want to. Don't jinx me. But somehow I get around that. I don't know how.
You haven't been.
I do know how, but I won't tell you.
I've never been pulled over, but I'm telling you, I've driven while intoxicated. As a matter of fact, I used to be the designated driver while intoxicated because I was good at it.
I'm not going to lie, I'm good at it too. You know what I mean?
After all the years. But 10, 12 years ago, I had the constitution of a freaking rhinoceros.
I'm not even going to ask you. We're getting too personal, I think. No, we are live. We are live, Jeff.
I would have two. I don't care. I would have 2 or 3 scotches. I would have 3 or 4 bottles of wine. I'd have an after dinner drink.
What? 3, 4 bottles of wine?
No, glasses of wine.
Oh, I was going to say, my God, you're a machine.
Yeah,
And I'm not talking about Brian Cage.
It'd be then a glass of port, then like an aperitif. I mean, yeah,
Shit.
and then go somewhere else and probably have another scotch or something, and you know, and it didn't. I was like Dr. Johnny Fever from WKRP in Cincinnati, and
funny.
people would say we're all drunk, but you know what, Jeff, you're a terrific drunk driver. I used to joke, and it's a really tasteless joke, and I know it is, and I realize it after I stopped doing it, but I used to say, yeah, I've been voted 7 years in a row by Baltimore Magazine as Baltimore's best drunk driver.
Just quietly, that's fucked, by the way. But just quietly, here there's a saying, right? If you drink and drive, you're a bloody idiot. So don't do that, folks. That was a campaign here. You're a bloody idiot. You're a bloody idiot. That's when I needed Jericho.
That's been proven time and time again.
Well, my friend, man, I'm just going to say a quick story now that we're on this subject. My friend once was so drunk. I mean, he was running red lights, and I was shooting bricks. I'm like, dude, let me drive because I wasn't drunk, right? Whoops. And he's like, run the red, like slurring and shit. And my friend was like, my other friend was egging him on and shit. I'm like, man, he's just running reds. We're lucky not to hit cars. Man, I shit myself, but thank God. And he got pulled over by the cops. And you know what bullshit story he made up to get away with it?
What?
He said,
pregnant.
No, because his parents at the time owned like a Greek nightclub down here in Melbourne. He basically said that someone spiked his parents' drink with something. And yeah, he is drunk, but he has to go and pick him up to take him to hospital. The cop believed it, dude, and fucking let us go.
That's a very specific scenario. All right, I'm going to tell you one of my favorite drunk stories. It does not involve me driving because I was at a conference. So I was away. No, there was no driving of a car involved by anyone other than car services or taxis. So I'm at a business conference, night out, go to dinner with everyone, plenty of drinking. We decide, hey, it's like 7 or 10 guys and like one woman, and we're like, let's go to a strip.
That was a cockfest, in other words.
Pretty much. And let's go to
the
a strip
first
club.
peenie joke.
So
yeah.
So the funny thing is, we get into these taxis, we find the strip club. The sad thing is, like 15 years before, I was in Chicago for a bachelor party. It's the second time I've been to strip clubs in Chicago. It's the same fucking strip club. I mean, it was the same one. And anyway, so we go there, and while we're there drinking and doing whatever you do at a strip club, we see some guy who looks vaguely familiar, and we realize he's like one of the vendors at the conference. And like every time we see him, he comes out of one of the private rooms with like one less article of clothing on, and so like he's like from a full suit with his, it's like he's got no tie, he's missing his suit jacket, he's missing his sweater, everything. And then all of a sudden, there's like a skirmish, and it's not like the Wednesday night skirmish.
Yeah.
So there is this girl. She maybe is 5'1". She has another friend who's maybe 5 foot. She's got this skinny ass boyfriend, and she is arguing with a guy about something. It turns out this guy is a pimp, and he's got his hood behind him, and he's got one of his guns in his waistband here. So they take it outside, and everyone gets brushed aside because the vendor guy, who's half naked at this point, his pants are undone. He's so scared, he runs out like Superman. He pushes people away, and he dives into a taxi like and drives off. And then
like Superman
in the elevator is him, and I'm like looking at him like, Anyway. So
what's going on there?
So this girl is yelling at this guy, and he pulls out his gun, and she's shoving him, and then she spits on him, and the guy's muscle comes in, and he's like, no, and he's like, and so at this point, all my friends, we're on the side and we're outside. They run behind a dumpster, and some of them run behind like
I don't blame him,
wall, dude. And they're like, Jeff, come on. He's got a gun. I said, I am not missing a single second of this.
You should have recorded it, dude.
I didn't have a camera to record.
Okay. These pre-cell phone days?
It was about 12, 13 years ago, probably, but not like... Yeah, but not like... We're not girls. We don't record everything.
We are now.
So this guy's pulling out his gun, and she starts hitting him. And his gun goes off. It fires, and so everyone scatters, and I was like, get back here. I'm like,
Dude.
And then one of the bullets goes the other way, like not past me, but in the general direction.
You heard it like do that sort of sound?
Yeah, but 15 feet away to my left, but it hits the dumpster but they're on the backside, so it's fine.
Oh shit!
And at that point, I'm like, okay, time to go.
Whoa!
But
So it hit the dumpster that they were actually hiding behind.
Yeah, well, some
That's
of them were
too
behind
much of
like
a close
like
call,
the
bro.
dumpster was sort of like there was a little out. There was like a little space between it, and there was like a half brick wall with like sort of like a small like 2-foot chain link fence over that. It was
Right.
I don't. It was more like a property divider than security. But so some of them were behind that, and some of them were behind the dumpster. And I'm like 50. I'm like in the original spot, sort of like right on.
I could picture it.
The little part of a driveway right before the sidewalk, and there's a line of taxis there because of course there are. Everyone's scattering except for the taxis; they don't seem to care. And me looking like an idiot, and this girl who's wailing on this guy who's got a gun and is now firing it. Finally, her friend and her boyfriend, who should have been the one who I think started this shit but did nothing, drag her away.
One of those guys.
And like the world's lamest pimp was like, "Yeah, you lucky."
Like typical.
That's what I said. All right,
I got your
there's nothing left
trick.
to see here. Come on, guys, it's safe.
So no one got shot in the end?
No one got shot in the end.
Thank God. Was this in Baltimore?
No, that's Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. Okay, all right. I remember now. Yeah, you're right. You said at the start, but I wasn't
like
sure if we deviated cities.
It's probably so it's like sort of near the airport. So I guess that's why they take all the tourists there.
Well, Chicago is, I mean, I don't know what's worse, Baltimore or Chicago, but you both got a lot of hitters, shall I say?
I mean, Chicago overall is a better city, but I think it's deadly.
Overall, yeah. Deadly? I don't know, man. I mean,
yeah, I think
Baltimore's right up there.
Proportionally, Baltimore used to be, but I think Chicago is over.
That's true.
But listen, we're trying. We're trying.
It has cleaned up. I mean, from all accounts, from what I can tell, Baltimore doesn't get mentioned like it used to, like, say, in the early 2000s, late 90s even. It was considered the murder capital of...
You are missing... You have the wrong side of the equation. Baltimore has not cleaned up. It's just the other places have dirtied down more.
Oh, jeez. Well,
places like Philadelphia and Chicago.
Philly's bad now, dude. Yeah. Philly's really bad. Like
Atlanta.
I've watched... Atlanta's, pretty bad, but it's a facade, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't look as run down as, say, Philly does right now. Philly looks real run down, dude.
Well, Atlanta's newer. I mean, the build-up is newer.
It's like the new Cali of the South.
Right. So anyway, Sami Zayn and Roman, right?
Or LA, should I say. Yes. Let's get back to the main event. I don't know how we deviated that much. There was a lot of near finishes, by the way. I mean, did you think there was one too many near finishes?
Yeah, there were too many near finishes. Like, to me, this wasn't a wrestling match. This was just about
storytelling at its best, though, in the ring. Let's be honest.
Just to make you believe that Sami was winning. And it was just to set up the drama at the end. And that's exactly what I knew we were going to get. It's exactly what we should have gotten. I mean, I didn't know exactly what, I didn't know the Usos were going to be there. That's what they were. I didn't know what Jay's role was going to be.
Surprised me too.
Solo didn't show up, but Solo already picked his side, so there's no drama for him to be there.
Well, he wasn't even there, but Jimmy already picked his side and he was there.
Right, but Jay and Jimmy are twins. They're the tag team champions.
Sure.
That's the drama. So Solo's not. So they were very careful not to overbook it, so to speak. Though I would say during the match it was probably overbooked. But the match itself wasn't so as important as Roman's talking. He was brilliant during this opening. Yeah, right from the beginning, yelling. So it's all you get. And then he's talking to the crowd, and then he's talking to
Sammy's wife. Right, yeah.
I didn't want to hear this. I wanted to bring you up. I wanted you to have good things. I wanted this with his hands cusped. I wanted family. I loved him. He did this. This is not my fault. Can't you see this is his fault? Tell him it's his fault. He did this. He did this. He made me do this. I didn't have a choice.
He even talked trash to what I think, and it looked like him. But did you see Sami Zayn's dad, possibly?
I think so. I think that was also...
That was definitely Sami Zayn's dad. He looked like him.
And then there was some old guy there that was like going, yeah, Roman, you're right. It is his fault.
Yeah.
Jane's wife, I don't know if she is like a regular woman, like a plain Jane, or if they just told her to be as plain as you can look. But she was about as plain.
No, she's Muslim, and I don't think she'd be extravagant. Her name's Khadijah or something like that.
I have no idea what it is, but she was just wearing a white T-shirt, no makeup. But it's not like she was wearing a hijab or a headscarf or anything.
No. She seemed very, modest, shall I say? You know what I mean? In every sense.
Like a regular.
Absolutely regular.
If you went into Subway and you saw her ordering a tuna salad sub in front of you, you wouldn't think a second of it.
Yeah, she's just average. I mean, what can I say? Like, she's not ugly. She's not hot.
No,
like,
she was just she was a
just-
plain Jane.
plain Jane, exactly. Plain
Or
Khadijah.
Khadijah.
Yeah. Shut up. But you know what? It's such. She looks older than Sammy. I'm not going to lie. I felt like she
No,
looks
she
kind of.
doesn't.
You don't think so?
No, not at all.
Interesting. Anyway, it was a cool scene when he took off for a moment. If you remember, he walked away and then he thought, "Oh fuck it," and then he kissed his wife. He ran back, kissed his wife. That was a cool moment. The crowd were cheering it on. It was a Canadian, not only sausage fest, but a love fest in that ring. I mean, it was electric. I mean, the whole night. But the fans though really fucking made the show. And I want to point out the Bell Center, man. The acoustics are pretty magnificent on television, and I love how steep the bleachers are. Like it's like really like this, man, sort of thing compared to your normal American or even Australian arenas. Sorry,
it's a steep incline.
it's beautiful. I love it, man. And it's been around for a long time, but there's something special about that joint. I mean, every time there's an event there, it's always just they love it, man. They absolutely eat it in.
And Sami Zayn's WWE debut was at the Bell Center 8 years ago.
True.
They say.
That's
I guess
true.
maybe yesterday was Canadian Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Could have been Putin Day for you know. Do they eat that in the French side of Canada?
I'm sure they do.
Putin. I'm not talking about Vladimir Putin. I'm talking about
No, poutine.
the chips. Yeah, poutine,
like
whatever
French
it's
fries.
called. Yeah, French fries with gravy and whatnot, and something else. What was the other thing? There's something else on
Mushroom.
it. I think it was mushroom. You're right. Anyway, I don't know why they call it poutine, whatever the fuck it is, but it is what it is. Anyway,
No habla francés.
yes, no soufflé you plat. Anyway, whatever that means.
El gato no tiene los zapatos.
Yeah, just you got to put the wee sort of accent to it because it's essentially the same language. I mean,
It's
just
all
with different
Greek.
accents. It's all Greek, exactly. It's all Greco. Anyway, we had Superman punches, Blue Thunder bombs. What else did we have?
kicks.
Haluva kicks. I mean, more spears, more Superman punches, super kicks. You name it, we had it. And but in
No
the end,
guillotine though. No guillotine in French. Canada. Come on, what a waste.
how would you what would you say it? A guillotine?
Guillotine.
Would it be like it'd be like guillotine, like the way they would pronounce it. But anyway, whatever. It is a French word, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
And I think the French did invent it as
They
well.
did.
They did. There you go. But post-match, after all that, Roman Reigns does win by pinfall via spear, retaining the WWE Undisputed Championship. But just before that, Sami Zayn unfortunately ends up hitting freaking Jey Uso, and then he just disappears like a thief in the night. He just was gone. He wasn't even on the floor. I
Right,
don't know where he
one
went.
accidental spear, but that's because we don't know what the drama is. We don't know what if Jay respects that as a mistake or Roman, or that's going to be the tips him back over the edge. He was straddling the fence, and that's going to put him back into Team Bloodline. We don't know. I mean, listen,
Demetrius Patika says, where,
Jimmy disappeared also. He did three kicks. He got one move and he disappeared also.
well, ironically, funny enough, Demetrius, I just said the same thing literally before I saw your comment, and yeah, that's what we're wondering. Where did he go?
Jimmy did too. They both did. They both.
Oh no,
took
he
one
was
lower
sleeping on the floor, man. I saw Jimmy at the end. He was literally by the commentator's table on the ground.
Listen,
Whereas-
in fairness, they haven't been allowed out of the country in a while. They probably had jet lag. It was very tiring.
Jet lag. Oh come on, it's not far, Montreal. It's
You're
actually
ruining it.
like very close to New York, as a matter of fact. Sorry, my bad. Did I ruin it? Even though they make it seem like they really went overseas, like. But I mean, it is another country. Fuck, what do I know? They do
right.
speak French over there.
You know that the polarities are shifting. You don't know how that affects somebody.
You're right. I'm sure it does, especially to the Canadians. It really affects
Especially the
them.
twins, because they have that psychic rapport, and the polarity gets right in between that. It can be very exhausting.
Facebook user says WWE. Yes, WWE. Indeed. I remember that.
Thank you for that comment, Facebook user.
Whoever that is, that's weird. Chris Willens asks, how might they split the tag team main title bouts, you think? The draft maybe plays a role. You'd think, but we don't have any idea how they're going to split these bouts yet, let alone the Universal titles. And we don't even know when the draft is happening still. We're assuming it's happening. We just don't know when.
Listen, I think that Sammy and KO are going to win the undisputed titles from Jimmy and Jay. I think at that point, Jimmy and Jay will probably get involved so that KO and Sammy lose one set of belts, probably on SmackDown, probably to, a team like the Vikings or whatever, some transitional team or, something like that, or maybe Otis with the models. I don't know. But whatever it is. And then, then you have your teams on Raw where they're, it might be more wide open.
Wide open indeed.
Well, you've got Judgment Day. You've got Los Lotharios coming back. You've got the Good Brothers.
Oh, I forgot about the Good Brothers actually. But Demetrius did point out, I would say after Mania for the draft. That's more than likely. That's how they used to do it, but it's become October in the last few years.
Yeah, the draft isn't until the fall, Demetrius.
Yeah.
So they could change their minds. They could change their mind anytime. Well, hey, you could be you've got the Banger Brothers. You have the Bruising Brutes. You have the New Day. There's a ton. One thing you can say now about WWE that you couldn't say forever. There's a ton of teams. There's shit row. There's shit, but there's shit row.
Oh yes.
There's going to be there's Cedric and Shelton who won a match. For the moment, there's still Alpha Academy.
For now,
FTR might be coming back, so don't count them out. That's around a little bit after Mania.
Dude, if anything, it's funny because Dax Hardwood's podcast, it starts off. I know it's shocking.
Do people still listen to that?
Unfortunately, they do. Yes, I know. But it's funny because the start of that intro, the intro song for that show is the "Say Yeah," the Revival theme.
Right. We've been having rumors about AOP for a million years, and then there's Bray and Howdy, if I didn't say that already. So
Bray and Howdy.
Yeah.
Howdy and Bray. Whoever the fuck. We'll see what happens there. It could be Husky Harris and Bray for, we'll see what happens. But as far as the draft goes, it hasn't been after Mania for quite a few years. It's been in the fall, like Jeff said. In particular, October, as a matter of fact, the last few years. So yeah, we'll see what happens though. Who knows? Maybe. But we don't see any sign of that happening right now. That's the problem. And it's too close to Mania for just them just to out of nowhere say, oh, well, we're going to have a draft. But who knows? Maybe they will.
Anyway, I think it'll be after Mania, and I think it's going to be because the Usos cost them one of those titles. And then it's very easy because the heat will remain between, the Quebecers and the Usos.
Quebecers. Demetrius also says, quick question for you guys. I've been reading Montez got actually really injured. Is it a work for Logan and all two gone in, or did he really hurt himself? Is it a work for Logan and all two going in? Well, yeah, that's what we were saying before. We were saying more than likely storyline, but he sold it very well. I'm not going to lie. And the wrestlers in the ring also sold it pretty good too.
Listen, if somebody has a suspected concussion, they don't carry them out over two guys' shoulders right away. They immobilize the head. They bring in a stretcher. There's an X. There was no X line. This is storyline.
It seems more than likely, yeah. I'd say 95% storyline too, but you never know. I haven't read any reports personally, so where'd you see that, Jimmy, man? I'm actually curious because I haven't really read nothing about that. Have you?
I've read fan tweets on it, but I don't.
Well, I'm talking about dirt sheet reports, though.
No, but I don't take that as anything either, because I expect half the dirt sheets to write speculations that Montez Ford really hurt himself. Oh, the Street Profits is another team we forgot to mention.
How true. Fair point also, by the way. But you know what? Before we go though, Jeff, I'm going to say this. I would give this premium live event pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, easily an 8.5 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed it. That's how much I actually liked it.
I would too. If I was judging on a regular wrestling show, probably a B-, which I guess is an 8.25. But this was Saturday night at the movies for me.
Absolutely. And a good Peacock, Saturday night at the movies, as a matter of fact.
And Peacock is on my Comcast. I get it. It's part of it. So Saturday night at the movies. I even watched the press conference afterwards, which is sort of weird. How in AEW,
I love it, dude.
Some of the people are in character, and some of them are their real selves.
Right.
It's the same thing here in WWE. Like
Austin Theory was really the only one that kayfabed it. Everyone else pretty much was themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess Austin Theory was playing Jay White. Anyway, so yeah, this was Saturday night at the movies for me. So yeah, I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna give it a solid B plus, 8.75, whatever you want to call that.
And I also want to point out, did you catch? You obviously did watch the press conference, right?
Yeah.
Did you see that stupid idiot friggin'
Brandon Thurston?
No. It was some French Canadian dude. He asked Theory a question to the point where even Saxton was giving shit to this. He sounded like a friggin' pansy, dude. He was like, "Hi, Austin Theory," the way he spoke, dude. Do you know what I'm talking about? It was fucking funny.
I don't know.
You gotta check that out. They got offended, man. It was like, what? Why are you asking me a stupid question?
All I know is there was a woman that asked Austin Theory like 10 questions. He's like, "That's 10 questions. You want me to answer them all?" I mean, that was pretty funny. Now, honestly, the only one I took much note of. First of all, the guy from Bleacher Report seemed to get 3 questions in a row with different people. Why, I don't know. Maybe they were carrying it like in other countries. No, I can't. I don't know it. But Brandon Thurston thinks it's a real press conference and asks a business question about the sale. And
that was a good question, though, man. I'm not going to lie, because he had the balls to actually ask that question when no one else seemed to have previously.
Because they all know it's not you're not going to get an answer. I listen. I have a thing about Brandon Thurston in that he's really good at PowerPoint, like him either. But he pretends that he knows about business, but he doesn't know anything about business.
John Pollock is kind of the Canadian version of that in some ways.
Yeah,
even though he's good though.
Yeah, John Pollock looks a lot like Aaron Riff. That's who I thought it was at first.
I used to love this show back in the day, man. Do you remember The Law?
No.
You don't remember Live Audio Wrestling? That was a great show, man. It was on TSN in Canada, ESPN in the States and worldwide, whatever. Great show. It's no more though. But John Pollock was part of that. No, and it was Canadian.
I don't absorb a lot of outside wrestling television content. I mean, I didn't even listen to podcast period until like 2014. I didn't listen to wrestling podcasts till 2015.
It was a great show anyway, man.
All this knowledge is just me.
I know it's hard to actually listen when you have to keep up with your own shows too. So it's not easy. But anyway, Jeff, it's funny because we've got an influx of viewers now as we're about to go. But
well, good news for them.
We'll be right back.
If you stick around and you keep watching your social media, we're going to be doing the Rampage very soon.
Absolutely. So in saying that, Jeff, tell them where they can find you, man.
On Twitter at IcarusFellMD. Oftentimes on shows here on the PWC, I know that we've got a Machismo ready to go. We've got a Skirmish almost ready to go. And then this show will be there. And on Cage will go on Channel Attitude and Hameen first. But yeah, Hammerlock Hangover, though we missed this week, so I don't know what to tell you about that one. But Garden of Doom dropped a new episode yesterday on Giants, Mounds, and Monkeys. So that was fun. Yeah, the Monkeys were a big thing with Heather Arnold. You may know her if you're a follower of Graham Hancock's work. She's worked with Graham Hancock, etc. She's been on the show before. And Garden Views is a sister show, more legal and topical. But yeah, got a lot of fun stuff on tap for people with Garden of Doom coming up always in the past, present, and future.
Brilliant. Did I mention this show is brought to you by Hameen Media Group and ChannelAttitude.com? For $5, you get to see our mugs talk everything AEW and WWE. Also, what were you going to say? Were you going to say something there, Jeff?
Is it possibly also brought to you by Podbean?
Yeah, thank you. I was meant to say that too, but I forgot to say it. But yes, it is brought to you by Podbean, where if you want to get a free month at podbean.com, you can when you use the affiliate code PWC Network and you get your free month. So check it out. You won't be disappointed. Heck, you can be like us and do your own show about professional wrestling. But yeah, whatever you want to do, podbean.com has it for you. You like that, Jeff?
Loved it. That was great. Very professional.
Brilliant. Also, speaking of Podbean, like and subscribe right here at the pwcnetwork.podbean.com, where you can find all our shows. HameenMediaGroup.podbean.com, where you can find all the affiliate shows, including Jeff's, and ChannelAttitude.com. In saying that, I'm Jimmy T. He's the evil one, Jeff Lippman, and you've been listening and watching the WWE Elimination Chamber post-game show right here on the PWC Network and ChannelAttitude.com. We're out. See ya.
Stay evil, my friends.
Hello, I'm
most exciting 2 hours of professional wrestling podcasting in the world. We're gonna put butts in seats and ears to the streets. And now, here are your hosts, Jimmy T and Jeff Lippman.
Maybe I'm just paranoid, or maybe I'm just living a lie. Can't stop this screaming voice, or maybe I'm just sick inside. This is the face I hate, the other side of me. Out of this cage he breaks to take the life from me. Tell me, tell me, tell me I'm not crazy. There's a psycho in my head, I'm closer to the edge, making me feel like I'm living in misery, misery, insane. These voices in my brain, starting to feel like it's gonna be the death of me, death of me. There's a psycho in my head. Living in hysteria, nothing makes much sense tonight. Maybe I'm too scared to trust to stop the chaos in my mind. Living in hysteria, nothing makes much sense tonight. Maybe I'm too scared to trust to stop the chaos in my mind. This is the face I hate, the other side of me. Help me believe, I need to see the light in me. Tell me, tell me, tell me I'm not crazy. There's a psycho in my head, I'm closer to the edge, making me feel like I'm living in misery, misery, insane. These voices in my brain, starting to feel like it's gonna be the death of me, death of me. There's a psycho in my, there's a psycho in my. Maybe I'm just paranoid, or maybe I'm just living a lie. Can't stop this screaming boy, or maybe I'm just sick inside. I'm not crazy, I'm not crazy, not a nightmare. 'Cause there's a psycho in my head, I'm closer to the edge, making me feel like I'm living in misery, misery, insane. These voices in my brain, starting to feel like it's gonna be the death of me, death of me. There's a psycho in my, there's a psycho in my head. There's a psycho in my head. There's a psycho in my, there's a psycho in my head.
The PWC Network. What the world is watching and listening to.